So, hi everyone. Again, I'm Angela Long, and this is Monica Malave. I'm the VP of Digital Marketing at AMADC, the Washington, D.C. chapter of the American Marketing Association. Since 2016, I've been running the Marketing Mentors Network, AMADC's signature mentor program. Our goal is to build supportive relationships in DC Metro between senior marketers like Monica, who are looking to give back, and junior marketers looking to up their game. We've committed to mentoring marketers, and as a way to keep mentoring top of mind all year long, we're taking to video. So in this inaugural episode of Mentor Spotlight, I'm excited to welcome Monica Malovey. Monica is marketing strategist and CEO of Elevate It Now, and she's going to be our December Mentor Spotlight. So Monica has been a member of AMADC for 5 years, I do believe. And Monica, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about your professional background, how long you've been in marketing, what makes you unique, and is there anything that you are celebrating milestones that you want to share?
Well, hello, everyone. I'm excited to be the guinea pig of this inaugural event. It's always an adventure, just like marketing.
Always an adventure.
Well, my name is Monica Malovey. I have been in marketing for longer than I'd like to admit, probably 1989, which puts me at about 35, 36 years. I started in banking as a teller, and then I went into customer service. And oddly enough, I was asked to help with this group that we would never have in this day and age. It was called our Focus 55 group. And my job was to educate them, help them balance their accounts, do seminars about the program and the different benefits that anyone over 55 could get if they joined in this program. So started from there, and from there I decided that that's what I love to do. So my first job was at a credit union. I was doing marketing at the assistant level. I was also doing HR and admin. So I was there for about 5 years until I went into executive management at FDIC. I was ready to go. And I've been in executive management in marketing since 2001 now. So it's been quite a while, quite a journey. I took a slight detour in 2008 from marketing. I was a little burnt out. Things weren't progressing the way that I wanted to in my marketing life. And so I had an opportunity with one of our marketing partners at the credit union I was working at to do mortgage lending. And I thought it was a crazy idea that somebody would think that I could do a commission only job when I was a single parent. But I was really in an ugly situation and just was done with marketing. I felt like I had climbed this corporate ladder only to run into other issues, and it just frustrated. So interestingly enough, mortgage lending actually brought me back to marketing, as I was put in an office with agents and I had to build relationships with them and try to show myself as a mortgage lender and get their business and become their mortgage lender of choice. And what I really realized was they didn't need another loan officer, they needed help with marketing. And so, as frustrating as a enlightening situation this was, November 16th of 2014, this frustrated human being was like, what is going on here? What am I supposed to? I'm not making any money doing loans. What am I supposed to do? And there it was. The little voice that said, you're supposed to open your own marketing company. Honestly, I did one of these.
Where's that voice coming from?
And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, that was my all moment. And I remember thinking, really? I was looking out a window similar to the one in my office here. And then I was like, what am I supposed to call it? And that little voice, Elevate It Now. And I was like, seriously, guys, I'm not even being crazy here. That's exactly how that happened. I went into the patent office. I did all my research before I got all crazy about this Elevate It Now, make sure that I wasn't stepping on anybody's toes. Wasn't. I started the business, and I decided to work the mortgage piece for just a little bit longer. And then March 1st, I decided we were done. I was done with mortgage lending, and I started running the business full time. Had my first client who is still a client of mine. And we've been helping with marketing ever since. So
That's
this is
a,
our 6th year this year in business.
uh-huh.
We've won an award in 2018 for Best Marketing Agency in Prince William. We've been featured in a couple of collaborations with some of our partners like DataBox and Sprout Social, on things that we've accomplished with them and things that we do together. So it's been a heck of a ride. It's been a great of an experience, and I can't imagine doing anything else right now.
So I'm sure since it's not the usual that we have a guest with blue hair on our show, a little bit of background. Like this is going not above and beyond, right? Not everyone colors their hair according to their brand colors, and so I love that about you, Monica. I mean,
It's
it is
crazy.
inspiring. Yeah.
Thank you. I've actually been a crazy nut with colors. So I actually tried blue first and I didn't like it. I was going to get married and it didn't look great. And then in March, 3 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to teal this. It's time to take this branding to a whole other level. And I've always thought that life was too short to have boring hair. So I've always driven my mom crazy with my blacks and my purples and my greens and my this and my that. And this one's taken her a little while, but now it's grown on her. And it's funny. It is a cool thing, but I think what I love about it is the reaction from people, and not in a reactive way, but I get compliments from like kids and from all ages. I remember this one old man. He was probably like 90. I was walking through the grocery store and he's like, blue hair, like it. And I thought he was gonna offend the heck out of me, but he was like, but it's how it brightens other people's days and it brings a smile to somebody, or that whole aspect of it. It just elevating people's feelings with just a hair color. And then when I match it with a tie-dye,
Oh, it's gotta be beautiful.
it does. People, they don't know whether they like the tie-dye or the hair or both or the whole thing. Some say I like the whole thing going. So it's just something fun. Our brand is very serious. We are professional marketers. We know our marketing. We are not marketers that were born from social media or Google Plus or anything. We're marketers from the very beginning. We have our education. Angie and I were talking the other day about how if we were to sit there and combine our experience together, we'd pretty much be ancient. Because between my 35 and her 20 something, I'm like, no, guys, I'm not ready for that. So we take it seriously. We have our education in marketing. I have my degree in marketing management. I've actually thought about doing the digital marketing stuff through AMA, just to kind of get a fresh perspective on things. And but right now with the pandemic, I haven't had any time to do anything educational because everything has been for my clients. I mean, and it's been great. The pandemic has just brought about a different element to our business that we're super thankful that we can be a resource to our clients.
That's super
during terrible times.
Yeah, we were talking about possibly doing this before the holidays, and you say absolutely no way. I don't have the time. I'm getting all those holiday emails out. So why don't we go over to the Marketing Mentors Network? I know you've been a member of AMADC for 5 years. What made you decide to join the Marketing Mentors Network?
For me, it was honestly a paying it forward. I remember that as a young marketer, there wasn't a lot of resources for us. Back in those days, in the early 80s, 90s, people didn't share. You didn't share marketing secrets, and you certainly didn't share success stories or strategies. And so you kind of had to learn from reading. We certainly didn't have the internet. So everything was really up to you to learn and move forward in your career, besides school. And I'm not talking about school because school was always there, but in the field in those days, you didn't share. It's not like now. Now I have a community of networking people, that if I get stuck on something, I can just snap my fingers and go to. And so I had to learn everything I know by failing or not knowing or all those things. And when we get to a point where we know so much about what we do, I think it is only natural that we try and inspire other younger people that might be thinking about it, because they are the future. They're the ones that are going to bring that message forward. We're not, we're going to be too old. And so inspiring kids that are interested in marketing or how to go about it, because marketing is also this huge umbrella. And I decided that I wanted to learn it all. And but for some people, it may not be that. It may just be that they want to focus on videography or branding or content or graphic design or whatever that is. So helping the younger generation kind of pin that place where they might want to, or how to do that based on all this experience is something that I wanted to do, and that's why I joined the network mainly, instead of just sitting there on the sidelines, using the resources and all the great resources that AMA has. I was like, you know what, it's time to give back.
Right. Time to jump in. It's time to jump in. Because this is your first year in the program.
Yeah.
We do have mentors who come back again and again, who kind of just, they're great mentors and also in great at doing it, but also are good at doing it. So it's a combination of that. What have you learned so far from your time in the program?
Patience and humbleness. And I say that because when you get into a mindset of running your own business, one of the things that you love running about your business is that you don't have a board of directors telling you how to do things. You don't have a CEO telling you, maybe a CEO that knows nothing about marketing telling you that you need to do 1, 2, and 3. And when you know your job this well and you're running your own business, you kind of get into a role of always just being resourceful and pushing out content and pushing out ideas and pushing out projects, and you don't ever just stop. And so help the responsibility of of being responsible for someone else's education, and and waiting on others to speak, to give their opinions, and to, I've been in a social media world where everything's like this. You just pick, like, push content. My world has been like this for the past 6 years. And so it's been nice to just step back and listen and be a part of something else that's not always just running around.
Frazzleness. It sounds like you're having a real conversation with someone.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about being a mentor?
I think for me it's just seeing my protege growing, in the relationship growing from one of what are we going to do with this to I'm becoming the resource, and she's appreciating the feedback and just being there first for her when she gets stuck, or she's like, I tried this, or I didn't try this, or I'm thinking about trying that, or what do you think about this, is not only having her see the light bulbs, but as I'm going to call us old marketers, yes, because I am an old marketer. Um, One of the other reasons I wanted to join was to really hear what the younger kids, the younger generation, what their challenges were, what they're dealing with. Are they the same as ours? Because we're all in marketing, but they're in the younger stages of it. So are the challenges still the same? And I wanted to also, I wanted to learn from a younger person, because I'm around all kinds of people. So somebody that's got the same goals that I do from a younger perspective, I love that. So sometimes Lauren will come and ask me things about from my years in perspective, and I'll flip it back around and say, well, I'm interested to hear how your generation sees this and what you guys think are the challenges and things of that nature. And it's interesting. I love to learn that, because some of us have to get into those markets as part of our audience. We have to understand them. We can't just jump into the bandwagon. Oh, the millennials suck, or this, and they're lazy, and they're living with their no. We need to understand how to address that and understand what their pain points are, and how can we as mentors help that along, because we can also learn something too. they're fresh out of school.
Yeah, completely. It's a completely different way of marketing, a completely different way of thinking.
Mhm.
When you're building relationship with someone who's just coming in from a completely different perspective, right? From
Yeah.
your past experience. What would you say to others considering becoming a mentor?
Do it. If it's in your heart to do it, do it. There is just nothing, there's nothing more rewarding than taking something that you're so passionate about and sharing that with someone else. Someone that's interested, someone that wanted to learn, someone you've been paired up with based on these things. And also for you to learn too. It's a two-way street with these mentorships. I know that we're supposed to be the mentors and all that, but if you really open your ear, you're you can learn a lot from them too. You'll be surprised some of the challenges that you're having that they can address in just a something as simple as a period at the end of a sentence.
Yeah.
They think that that's offensive and all these things, and I'm like, what? That's just basic punctuation. I'm not yelling at you. But we need to learn those things to commute together, right?
That's true.
I would tell anybody who's even thinking about it to just jump in and do it because it's really rewarding. It's a really rewarding thing to do, and not just my connection with Lauren, but everyone else too. And hearing everybody else's experiences and expertise. Like I've loved just being with a bunch of other marketers because I've had to find those. Like I've built my community, but I've had to find those, and now I've got them all here. And they're not all marketers that were born from social. And I know I keep saying that, but it's just some of the stuff that I really deal with on social. People think that they know social media marketing, and I'm a marketer. No, you're a social media marketer. But if social media went away, I would bet that about 30% of the Instagram accounts would disappear because you wouldn't know how to come up with a marketing strategy for an individual. You wouldn't know how to help them handle their challenge. You're just talking about making their feeds look pretty.
Yeah.
What can you really deal with helping them pivot when things go wrong?
So I think we'll do a part two, social media marketing with Monica Malovey.
That drives me crazy. And I write about it a lot because you know what? There's a huge, then other people listen to them. And instead of listening to people that are grounded in this and are solid in this, they go for these fakers that have either buy their likes, they buy their teeth, they buy their looks, they buy everything. And then they get disillusioned when something happens, but the person wasn't real to begin with. Like my goal always on social is make sure you know who you're following and who you're listening to. Because not everyone cares as much about, I mean, we care about our community, we care about their struggles, our clients, everyone, and we've established that. And so my thing is to always just have, as much as I can, right? Have people understand the difference between a solid marketer and your social media rock stars.
Right. Oh, yeah, I understand. So what advice do you have for up and coming marketers in your field? I mean, you're kind of leading into it now, but that was my next question.
One of the things about marketing is really understanding marketing, right? And understanding all the different opportunities that you have in marketing. And if you feel like you don't know where you're going to fall in that, try them all. Because you never know which one's actually that's going to make your heart beat. You may think it's branding, but then you get into content creation. Or you may think it's content creation, but then you start coaching people or talking to people or helping them with strategy, and you realize that maybe strategy is what you're great at. Or maybe you're just the super creative one. Maybe you're just the one that's listening and putting it all together, and that's your gift. So finding that gift and not pinning yourself down to just one thing that you think you want to do, because marketing is so huge and it has so many opportunities. So, kind of try them all and pick the one, like I said, pick the one that makes your heart beat the fastest. For me, it was management. Is really helping my clients get out of pickles and helping them understand how they can improve their business practices.
Okay, I like that. Getting clients out of pickles. That sounds like a fun job. We're almost at the end of our interview. Any final words or like words of wisdom you'd like to share before we sign off?
Words of wisdom. It doesn't have to be about marketing, does it?
Well, if it was a protege watching this, or someone who's learning more about mentoring and curious about doing mentoring, I think for some it sounds like a sort of a wishy-washy word and time-consuming and not worth someone's time kind of thing.
Now, I think words of wisdom. I think the most important thing I can say in terms of inspiration is if you've got something in your heart that you want to do, or you've got a great idea or a great thought that you want to do, don't be afraid to speak it. Don't be afraid to jump on it. Don't be afraid to do it, because chances are that someone needs the solution that you're providing, or the insight that you're providing, or the question that you're asking. So, or the idea that you've got in your head. A lot of times we sit here and we think of some of these great things, and then I know this has happened to all of us. 2 weeks later, somebody comes up with that idea, and you're like, I knew I should have said something. I knew it. That is never going to change. So if you've got a great idea, a great concept, a comment you want to add, a question you want to ask, never be afraid to ask it, and ask it, because the worst thing that's going to happen is someone's going to say, I'm not sure, but that's a great question. Why don't we talk about that? Just don't ever think that your idea, your thoughts, or anything that's going through your brain should not be vocalized, because chances are that someone else is thinking about it too, or will think about it in an hour.
So speak up, talk
Speak
up.
up.
Yeah, speak up. So thank you, Monica, for your time today. Really appreciate it. This has been
Angela, this was great.
fun. This has been fun. And glad the program's not over. So we'll be seeing you again.
With my hoodie.
With your hoodie. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. They'll have to watch that video, I suppose.